Hi, welcome once more to Mr. Max. In this lesson, we are going to revise from February-March 2015 graphs and function. That is question number 4, 5 and 6. So, February-March 2015 graphs and functions, question number 4, 5 and 6. So, before you watch this lesson, please make sure that you download the question paper from our app and you have to try to do alone first. Okay, then after that you have to watch this lesson and try to understand where the questions which questions is difficult for you, or check the answer is correct or wrong. Okay, so anyway, let's start. Question number 4, given g of x is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1. So there is a function given like this. There is a function given like this: g of x is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2 plus 1. I mean, not plus 1, it's a minus 1. Minus 1. So there is a function given like this: g of x is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1. So before I go to the first question, what type of function is this? This is a hyperbolic function because the variable x is in the denominator. So it's a hyperbolic function. Now what is the first question? 4.1. Write down the equation of the asymptotes of g. You have to write the equations of the asymptotes of g. So you know that equation of the asymptote of a hyperbolic function, for example, y is equal to a divided by x plus b plus q. So what are the equations of the asymptote? Here it is plus p. So equation of the asymptote is x is equal to minus p. And so what is the meaning of this one? So doesn't mean that always asymptote is negative. Not like that. When here it is plus, here it is negative. When here it is minus, here it is plus, like that. Okay. Then the second asymptote is y is equal to this one. Y is equal to q. Okay. So similarly here plus 2. So what is the equation of the asymptote? X is equal to minus 2 and y is equal to, here it is minus 1. Don't change the sign there. Okay, that y is equal to minus 1, you have to write it as it is. Okay, that is question number 4.1. Now let's move to question number 4.2. What is question number 4.2? So question number 4.2, calculate the y-intercept of g. 4.2.2, the x-intercept of g. So you have to find the y-intercept and x-intercept of g of x. Okay, so now that is 4.2.1, y-intercept. Okay, so first we can find the y-intercept. At y-intercept, you know that x is equal to 0. So at y-intercept, the value of x is 0. So our equation is this one. This is our equation. G of x is equal to that one. So let me write the equation. G of x is the same as y. So y is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1. Okay. So here we want to find the y-intercept. So we have to substitute the value of x as 0. Okay. So substitute the value of x as 0 in this equation. X as 0. So this is the value of x. This is x. So y is equal to 6 divided by 0 plus 2 minus 1. So y is equal to 0 plus 2 is 2. 6 by 2 is 3 minus 1. Y is equal to 2. So it means that the value of y is 2 and the value of x is 0. So what is the coordinate? Therefore coordinate, always x value first. What is the x value? 0 and the y value 2. So the coordinate is 0, 2. That is the y-intercept 4.2.1. So now the next question is, what is the next question? 4.2.2, the x-intercept. So same applies. At x-intercept, what is the y value? Y is equal to 0. We are going to find the x-intercept. You know that at x-intercept the y value is 0. So let's write the equation once more. G of x, that is y is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1. Here we have to substitute the value of y as 0. So 0 is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1. From here we have to find the value of x. So first we can take this minus 1 to this side. So 0 plus 1, that is 1. 0 plus 1 minus 1 on this side plus 1. So it is 1 is equal to 6 divided by x plus 2. What you have to do now? You have to cross multiply. Okay. So since here it is 1, there is no problem. Okay, anyway, 1 into x plus 2 is equal to 6. 1 into x is x, 1 into 2 is 2 is equal to 6. So x is equal to, take this plus 2 to the other side. So on the right side it is minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay. So therefore coordinate. What is the coordinate now? X value first. X value is 4 and the y value is 0. So excuse me, the x-intercept is 4 comma 0. Okay. So this is the asymptote. X is equal to minus 2, y is equal to minus 1. So let me write all of that one together there. So what are the asymptotes? So those who didn't write this one, you have to pause the video and write. Okay. So let me write all of those that we got so far. Asymptotes. What are the asymptotes? X is equal to minus 2, y is equal to minus 1, and x-intercept. What is the x-intercept? 4 comma 0. Y-intercept. What is the y-intercept? 0 comma 2. So this is what we got so far. Okay. So we got x-intercept, y-intercept, and asymptotes. Okay. Now what is the next question? Question number 4 point. Is it 4.3? What is question number 4.3? Draw the graph of G showing clearly the asymptotes and intercept with the axis. So question number 4.3 is you have to draw the graph of this G of x. Okay. So you have to draw the graph. So let's try to draw the graph. Now since we have all of these values, then it's easy to draw. So you have to draw the x-axis and y-axis. This is the x-axis, y-axis. First you have to draw the asymptote. X is equal to minus 2. X, this is minus 1, this is minus 2. You have to draw the dotted line for the asymptotes. Y is equal to minus 1. Y minus 1. This is minus 2. So y minus 1. You have to draw that asymptote. This is minus 1. Okay. Y is equal to minus 1. X is equal to minus 2. Okay. Now what? X-intercept is 4 comma 0. X-intercept 4 comma 0. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So somewhere here this is 4 comma 0. And what is the y-intercept? 0 comma 2. X 0, y 2. Oh, okay, both you got the same. So this is 1, this is 2. Okay, so this is 2. Now you have to join that 2 points, then you just draw another one here. Okay, so this is the graph of G of x. Okay, so what is the graph? What is the equation? Let me write the equation once more here. What is the equation of G of x? G of x is equal to, what was the equation? 6 divided by x plus 2, 6 over x plus 2, then minus 1. So this is the graph of this G of x, 6 over x plus 2 minus 1. So that is question number 4.3. Now let's move to question number 4.4. What is question number 4.4, guys? Look at that question 4.4. Determine the equation of the line of symmetry that has a negative gradient in the form of y is equal to. Wow. So you have to find the equation of the line of symmetry. Okay, so you have to find the equation of the line of symmetry that has a negative gradient. So before I explain this one, try to listen carefully here, and I am going to draw a rough graph of not this one. Okay, I'm just explaining another example. Okay, so look at this. This is in this graph that I'm going to draw. This is one asymptote, and this is another asymptote. Okay, whatever point, doesn't matter. Okay, so here this is the graph, and here, okay, so this is the intersecting point of the asymptotes. Okay, now for what type of graph is this? It's a hyperbolic, am I right? You can see the shape of the graph. Okay, for this hyperbolic graph, you have to understand that there are two line of symmetry. There are two line of symmetry. First one is this one. Line of symmetry always passes through the intersecting point of these asymptotes. Okay, so this is the intersecting point. Now it is passing through that point. Okay, and that this line of symmetry, why it is called a line of symmetry? You can see that if I put a mirror here, I can see the image of this one on that mirror like this. That is this one. Okay, same applies here also. The image of this one is here on this side. Okay, so this is the line of symmetry having positive gradient. Here you can see that this straight line is increasing, so positive gradient. Okay, and the second line of symmetry is this one. That line of symmetry also you can see that it is passing through the point of intersection of the axis of symmetry. Okay, I mean point of intersection of the asymptotes. Okay, so this is another line of symmetry or axis of symmetry. Okay, and this one you can see that it is decreasing. So this is the line of symmetry or axis of symmetry having negative gradient. Okay, so there is a formula. If you can remember that formula, then it is easy. Okay, the equation to find this positive gradient axis of symmetry, the equation is y is equal to x plus p plus q. This is the equation to find the line of symmetry for the positive gradient. Okay, and what is the formula to find the line of symmetry having negative gradient? And the formula is like this: y is equal to minus of x plus p plus q. Minus of x plus p plus q, that is a formula. Okay, so if you can remember these two formulas, positive gradient is easy, x plus p plus q. Negative gradient, minus of x plus p plus q. Okay, so now look at our question. What is our question? Determine the equation of the line of symmetry that has a negative gradient. Negative gradient. So we already know the equation, general equation. Y is equal to minus of x plus p plus q. Okay, if you can remember this formula, then it's easy. You know what is p and q. This is p and this one is q. Okay, so y is equal to minus of x. What is q? I mean, what is p? This one. So it is plus 2. What is q? Minus 1. Okay, so now first we can expand the bracket. Minus into x is minus x, minus into 2 is minus 2, then minus 1. Okay, so now what is the final answer? So y is equal to minus x, minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3. So the equation of the line of symmetry that have negative gradient is minus x minus 3. So that is question number 4.4. Okay, now let's move to the next question, question number 4.5. Question number 4.5. What is that question? Determine the value of x. So you have to find the value of or values of x. Okay. For which 6 divided by 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1 is greater than or equal to minus x minus 3. Okay, you have to find the value of x. What is the condition? 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1 is greater than or equal to minus x minus 3. So let me draw that axis of symmetry having negative gradient in the previous question. So this is the, in this graph, this is the graph. Okay, in this graph we can see that these two asymptotes meets at this point. So line of symmetry passes through that intersecting point of the asymptotes. So having negative gradient. So this is the line of symmetry having negative gradient. Okay, so here you can see that this is the x-axis and this is the asymptote. Okay, so what is the equation of this line of symmetry? Previous question we already got the equation of this line of symmetry is minus x minus 3. Okay, so now look at this one. This 6 divided by x plus 2 minus 1, you have to find the values of x, where what is this one? Actually that is g of x. Am I right? Okay, so you have to find the values of x. You have to find the values of x where this one, actually that one is our g of x. Okay, is greater than or equal to minus x minus 3. So g of x, oh sorry, here didn't I draw that this part? Okay, so here g of x is greater than or equal to minus x minus 3. This red line is minus x minus 3. Okay, so g of x is greater than means g of x graph must be on top, and that top than this minus x minus 3. So here look at this one, which graph is on top? Minus x minus 3 is on top. This is g of x. This one is g of x. Here g of x is greater than. G of x is greater than means this g of x must be on top of this minus x minus 3 here. Okay, but here you can see that this is not on top, this is the bottom. Which one is at the bottom? G of x is at the bottom, but we want g of x is greater, that means g of x must be on top. But here you can see that after this point x is minus 2. Okay, after that minus 2, which one is on top? Yeah, you can see that g of x is on top and that line minus x minus 3 is at the bottom. Okay, so if you continue like this, in all cases this one is going like that, this one is going like that. So in all cases g of x graph is on top and that line is at the bottom. So from which x value? When x is greater than minus 2. So what is the answer? When x is greater than, here equal to, greater than, oh okay, you can't say that greater than or equal to, even though here it is greater than or equal to. Why? Because at minus 2 there is no g of x. Okay, so you have to say when x is greater than minus 2, because when x is equal to minus 2 there is no g of x. Then how can we say that g of x is on top? Okay, so when x is greater than minus 2, from here to this side, okay, from this point to this side, g of x is on top and f of x is at the bottom. I mean not f of x, the straight line is at the bottom. Okay, but before minus 2 you can see that the line is on top and g of x is at the bottom. We don't want that one, we want g of x is on top. So x is greater than minus 2, or you can write it like this also, or minus 2 less than x less than OCT infinity, or you can write it, it depends on how your teacher taught you. Okay, or you can write it like this, minus 2 comma positive infinity. X is an element of. Okay, so anyhow you can write this one. Okay, so that is question number 4.5. Now let's go to next question, question number 5. Okay, next question, question number 5. Question number 5. What is that question? The graph of f of x is equal to a raised to x. Graph of f of x is equal to a raised to x where a is greater than 1 is shown below. T 2,9 lies on f. So there is a graph drawn there, and you can see that there is a graph like this, and there is a point here t 2,9, and this is the graph of f of x. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. Okay, so this is the given graph drawn. Okay, now first question, 5.1. What is the first question? Calculate the value of a. You have to find the value of a. So it's a simple question. This f of x is the same as y. Y is equal to a raised to x. So you know one point on the graph, that is 2,9. So substitute that point, you know these things. Okay, so y is equal to, y is 9 is equal to a raised to x. X is 2. So a raised to 2 is equal to 9. What is a? A is equal to square root of 9, that is plus or minus 3. So since here it is written a is greater than 1, so it means that we can't take minus 3. So it implies that the value of a is positive 3. So now what is our equation? A is 3, that means 3 raised to x. The f of x is 3 raised to x. Okay, so that is question number 5.1. now let's move to 5.2. so let me change the equation also there. Here now we know that that is a is 3, so it is f of x is equal to 3 raised to x. Okay, now 5.2. What is 5.2? Question number 5.2. Determine the equation of g of x if g of x is equal to f of minus x. Oh, simple question. This is f of x. Okay, and you have to find the equation of g of x. And what is that g of x? That is f of minus x. So instead of this x, if you write minus x, that is g of x. That's all. Okay, instead of this x, if you write minus x, that is g of x. Okay, so what is f of minus x? F of x is 3 raised to x. So f of minus x is 3 raised to minus x, and that is g of x. So g of x is 3 raised to minus x. That's all. Simple question. Okay, 5.3. Question number 5.3. What is that question? Determine the value of x for which f inverse of x is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so you have to find the value of x. Okay, so let me erase this one. Question number 5.3. Question number 5.3. You have to find the value of x where f inverse of x is greater than or equal to 2. F inverse of x means inverse of x. This is f of x. What is f inverse of x? How can you find? F of x is equal to y is equal to 3 raised to x. How can you find f inverse of x? You swap x and y. So it is x is equal to you have to swap y as x, 3 raised to x as y. Now how can you write this one in terms of y? Y is equal to log of this x. You have to know the logarithmic rule. Log x to the base 3. Is it not that one? F inverse of x. This is f inverse of x. So this f inverse of x is the inverse of x. So now if I try to draw that graph, so here you can see that this is one. So here if I try to draw that graph, you can see How can you find another method to draw the graph? You know there is 1.2 comma 9. So when it is f inverse, you are supposed to swap x and y. That means this 2 comma 9 becomes, if you swap x and y, 9 comma 2. So here 9, assume that this is 9, 2 somewhere here. So this is 2 comma 9, this point. Okay, so the new f inverse of x graph is something like this, f inverse of x graph. Okay, so now at this point what is the x value? 2. I mean, sorry, are we supposed to write in opposite way? This is 2 comma 9, so this one is 9 comma 2. You have to, when you are drawing f inverse, you have to swap x and y. So this is f inverse of x. Okay, so here it is 9 comma 2. Okay, so that is f inverse of x, and this one is f of x. This graph is f of x. This is f of x, and this one is f inverse of x. But here our question is not to find f inverse of x. What is our question? Our question is to find the values of x. You have to find the values of this x where f inverse of x is greater than 2. So here you can see that this is f inverse is also is another y. F inverse is a function, that is function we can represent it with a y. Am I right? So you have to find the values of x where y greater than 2. Okay, so this is 9 comma 2 because it is inverse. Okay, so here you can see that when y is 2, what is x? 9. Okay, so we are talking, this is f inverse of x graph. Okay, that is our y. We are saying that that one is y. Okay, so what about when y greater than 2? What about when y greater than 2? For example, I took a point here, greater than 2. Okay, so when y is 2, what is x? 9. Okay, so if I take a point greater than 2, for example 3, okay, where I am getting, what is the x value I am getting? That is greater than 9. Am I right? When I took a point greater than 2, y greater than 2, okay, I am getting a x value greater than 9. Do you understand? Okay, so if I take 4, y value as 4, that is greater than 2. Okay, then there also I am getting a x value that is greater than 9. Okay, so when y is greater than 2, x value is greater than 9. So the answer is x is greater than or equal to 9. So listen once more. First you have to identify when y is 2, what is the x value? 9, because 2 comma 9 inverse graph you swap 9 comma 2. So when y is 2, x value is 9. So if you take any y value greater than these 2, we can see that the corresponding x value is greater than 9. So what is the answer? Question is to find the value of x. So what is the value? What are the values of x? X is greater than or equal to 9. Okay, that is question number 5.3. Now let's move to the next question, 5.4. Okay, what is question number 5.4? Question number 5.4. What is that question? Is the inverse of f a function? Explain your answer. Inverse of x means this blue graph. Is it a function? Explain your answer. That is a question. So let me draw that graph here. First of all, let me draw the f of x graph. Okay, f of x graph. This is f of x graph. Okay, so can you tell me, is this f of x graph is a function or not? this is a function. Why? For every x value, how many y values you are getting? This is f of x graph. Don't forget, this is f of x graph. Okay. So for every x value, how many y values you are getting? Only one y value. If I take this x value, how many y values I am getting? Only one. If I take a x value, I am getting only one y value. That means like this. Can you see that? For every x values, I am getting only one y value. So this f of x is a function. Okay. Now the question is f inverse a function? So now you have to change the direction. Okay. So let me draw f inverse of x graph here. Okay. This is f inverse of x. So now you have to check, not for every x value, for every y value are you getting only one x value. So look at this one. This is our f inverse. This is f inverse of x. So here you are not supposed to check for every x value one y value, not like that, because this is f inverse. So what you have to check, are we getting for every y value only one x value? For every y value only one x value, or only one x value. For another y value only one x value, another y value only one x value. That means for every y value you are getting only one x value. That is how you want to check when it is f inverse. Okay, but when it is f, for every x value only one y value, you have to check like that. Okay, so you have to write here. You can see that for every y value only one x value. Okay, so yes, it is a function. Is f inverse a function or not? So first you have to say yes or no. One mark is for this s. Okay, yes. Then what is your answer? For every y value only one x value. For every y value only one x value. Okay, that is why it is a f inverse is a function. Okay, so that is question number 5.4. now let's move to question number 6. Okay, let's move to the next question number 6. Question number 6. What is that question? F of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, a not equal to 0. So there is a f of x, and what is that one? Ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0, and g of x is equal to mx plus k, and there is another function g of x, and that is mx plus k, and the graph is also drawn. So first of all, let me draw that graph quick here. So I try to draw a rough graph here. This is a parabola f of x, and this one is g of x, straight line. Okay, and it is touching at this point D, and the coordinate of that point is 1 comma minus 8, and x intercepts, this is -3, and this point 2. Okay, so these are the given ones. Now based on that one, we have to answer the remaining question. First question, 6.1. For which values of x? So you have to find the values of x. Okay, so you have to find the values of x where f of x is less than or equal to 0. Simple question. F of x is less than or equal to 0. F of x is this parabola. Okay, less than or equal to 0 means what? When it is below x-axis, is it not so? So here this is the x-axis. Okay, so f of x is less than or equal to 0 means below x-axis. Below x-axis is from this -3. You can see that it is below x-axis, below this x-axis. Okay, up to where? Up to this +2. After +2, above x-axis. So from -3 to +2, f of x is below x. F of x is less than or equal to 0 means below x-axis. In case f of x greater than equal to 0, above x-axis, you have to check. Okay, so anyway here below x-axis, so it is minus 3 less than or equal to x, between minus 3 and positive 2, the graph is below x-axis. So in case if the question is like this, okay, that question is not here, but in case x, you have to find the value of x where f of x is greater than or equal to x, then you have to check for which x values above x-axis. This is the x-axis, am I right? This one is the x-axis. So here you can see that before this minus 3, x value minus 3, it is greater than above x-axis. That means when x is less than or equal to minus 3, less than, this is minus 4, minus 5, less than, okay, when x is less than minus 3, the graph is above x-axis. Similarly here, when x is greater than, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, okay, when x is greater than or equal to positive 2, above x-axis. Okay, so this is our question. So this is answer, minus 3 less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 2. Okay, now what is the next question? 6.2. Question number 6.2. What is that question? Determine the values of a, b and c. You have to find the values of a, b, c. Where are these a, b, c? A, b and c. You have to find the values of that one. Okay, so here what you have to do is, since this f of x is a quadratic equation, okay, quadratic graph or a parabola, you studied 3 methods, 3 formulas, general formulas. One formula is this one, y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, and the second formula last year you studied a into x minus p the whole square plus q. And the next formula is y is equal to a into x minus m into x minus n, where these m and n are the x-intercepts. So here x-intercepts are minus 3 and 2. So minus 3 and 2. Okay, then we have to find the value of a. Okay, so anyway, we are going to use this formula to answer this question, to find the values of a, b, c. Okay, so now y is equal to, our formula is equal to a into x minus m into x minus n. Okay, so here y is equal to a into m is minus 3, x-intercept, these two m and n are x-intercept. So x minus m is minus 3 into the next x-intercept is 2, so x minus positive 2. Okay, so this is y is equal to a into x plus 3 into x minus 2. Now we have to find the value of this a. How can you find? We know one point on this parabola. Which one is that point? D, that is 1 comma minus 8. So we can substitute that 1 comma minus 8 in this equation to get the value of this a. Okay, so let's try to substitute that point 1 comma minus 8. Y is equal to that is minus 8 is equal to a into x plus 3, x is 1 plus 3 into 1 x minus 2, 1 minus 2. So minus 8 is equal to a into 1 plus 3 is 4 into 1 minus 2 is minus 1. 4 into minus 1, minus 4. So minus 8 is equal to minus 4a. So if I divide both sides with the minus 4, so this minus 4 cancel. So here it is a, and this one is minus divided by minus is positive. 8 by 4 is 2. So it means that the value of a is positive 2. Now we can substitute back in this equation. Okay, so let's substitute back in that equation now. So we are going to substitute the value of a, the value of a as 2 in this equation. Therefore, y is equal to a into, that is 2 into x plus 3 into x minus 2. Now we have to expand the bracket. Okay, so y is equal to 2 into, we can expand this bracket, x into x is x square, x into minus 2 minus 2x. I hope you know how to expand. 3 into x 3x, 3 into minus 2 minus 6. So y is equal to 2 into x square minus 2 plus 3. Minus 2 plus 3 is 1. So minus 2 plus 3 is 1x or x minus 6. So it is y is equal to 2 into x square plus x minus 6. So now we have to expand that bracket. Okay, so y is equal to 2 into x squared is 2x square, 2 into x is 2x, 2 into minus 6 is minus 12. So it means that the value of a is 2, the value of b is 2, and the value of c is minus 12. So therefore a is equal to 2, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to minus 12. So that is question number 6.2. This is question number 6.2. Question number 6.2. Okay. Now let's move to the next question, question number 6.3. Question number 6.3. So let's write that equation once more. What is our equation now? F of x is equal to ax square, that is 2x square plus bx, b is also 2, c is minus 12 from the previous question. Okay, so this is our equation now. Okay, now what is the next question? Question number 6.3. Question number 6.3. Determine the coordinates of the turning point of f. You have to find the coordinate of the turning point. So this point, what are the coordinates of this point? Okay, so how can you find the coordinates of the turning point? So here you have an equation to find the x value of this one. So x is equal to minus b divided by 2a. So here you have to substitute minus, this is the formula that we can use to find the x value of the turning point. Okay, so it is minus, what is b? 2 divided by 2 into a. 2 into a is 2. So it is minus, this 2 and 2 cancel, so it is minus 1 over this 2. Okay, so x value is minus 1 over 2. Now we have to find the y value. So how can you find the y value? You substitute in this equation, x value as minus half. So y is equal to 2 into x square, that is minus 1 over 2 square plus 2 into x minus 1 over 2 minus 12. Take your calculator, try to find the answer of that one. Y is equal to, in your calculator you will get minus 13 by 2, sorry, minus 12 and a half. This is minus 12 and a half. So here the y value is minus 12 and a half. So therefore turning point is minus half and minus 12 and a half. That is the answer. So that is question number 6.3. Now let's move to question number 6.4. Question number 6.4. 6.4. What is that question? Write down the equation of the axis of symmetry of h if h of x is equal to f of x minus 3. You have to find the equation of the axis of symmetry of h if h of x is equal to f of x minus 7 plus 2. You have to find the equation of the axis of symmetry. What is the meaning of that one, guys? What is if I draw, okay, this graph, okay, this graph here, what is the x value? Minus half comma minus 12 and a half. Okay, so where the axis of symmetry passing, axis of symmetry passing through the turning point. Okay, and here this is the axis of symmetry. That means x is equal to minus half is the equation of the axis of symmetry of this one. Okay, so here which equation is this? This is our f of x graph. Okay, now they don't want the equation of the axis of symmetry of f of x. They want the equation of the axis of symmetry of h of x. And what is that h of x? F of x minus 7 plus 2. Okay, so here what is the meaning of x minus 7? When it is minus 7, it is not shifted to the left, it is shifted to the right. Okay, how many units? 7 units shifted to the right. Okay, and this plus 2 is just to confuse you. Okay, plus 2 means it's shifted upwards 2 units. So upward or downward doesn't make any difference in the axis of symmetry. For example, if this graph is shifted 2 units upwards, chick, is there any change in the axis of symmetry? No. But axis of symmetry will change only if it is moving left or right, then the axis of symmetry also will move. Okay, so here how many units the f of x graph is shifted to the right? 7 units. In this f of x graph, what is the axis of symmetry? What is the equation of axis of symmetry? X is equal to minus half. So in this h of x graph, the entire graph is shifted 7 units to the right. That means this axis of symmetry also will move 7 units to the right. Do you understand? So in this f of x graph, equation of the axis of symmetry is x is equal to minus half. Okay, so this one shifted 7 units to the right means the new axis of symmetry is minus half plus 7. That means what is that? X is equal to 14 minus 1, 13 over 2, or 6.5. Okay, so the equation of the new axis of symmetry, that means this equation of the axis of symmetry of this h of x is 6.5 or 13 by 2. Okay, that means this f of x graph is shifted 7 units to the right. Now this is 1. So from here what is the equation of x is equal to minus half? So from here 7 units, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now the equation of the new axis of symmetry, this is 13 over 2 or 6.5. So x is equal to 6.5 or 13 by 2. Okay, so that is question number 6.4. The answer is x is equal to 13 by 2. Okay, don't worry about this plus 2. I told you plus 2 means this one is shifted 2 units to the upward direction. It won't make any changes in the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry will change only if it is moving to the left or right. Then the axis of symmetry also will move. Okay, how many units? 7 units to the right. That is why minus half plus 7, that is 13 over 2. Okay, that is 6.4. and now let's go to 6.5. Okay, question number 6.5. Calculate the gradient of g. Wow, what is the question? Calculate the gradient of g. This is the g of x. G of x is a straight line. Do you remember that one? We didn't touch that one yet. Okay, so this is g of x, or a straight line. This straight line passing through this point D 1 comma minus 8, and here the question is calculate the gradient of that straight line, that g of x. Okay, so this is actually, it's not a function question, it's a calculus question. Anyway, let's try to do that one. Okay, anyway, it's asked here. So f of x is equal to ax squared. We know that it is 2x squared plus 2x minus 12. You remember that one. Okay, now how can you find the gradient of a tangent in calculus? How many of you remember this one? In calculus you studied, to find the gradient of this tangent, first you have to find the derivative of this equation. So what is the derivative of this one? F dash of x, that is 2 into 2, 4, x raised to 1 less than this 2. 1 less than 2 is 1. Okay, plus 2x, what is the derivative? It is 2 minus 12, constant term derivative is 0. So plus 0. So it means that f dash of x is equal to 4x plus 2. Now do you remember how can you find the gradient of a tangent? First you have to find the derivative of this equation, this graph, then you have to find the x value, substitute the x value of that point. What is the x value of this point? It is 1. So in that derivative, in this derivative, you have to substitute the x value of that point. So f dash of x, here what is the x value at this point, touching point? It is 1. So substitute the x value as 1. So it is 4 into x. X is 1 plus 2. 4 into 1 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. So it means that the gradient, what is the question? Look at question number 6.5. Calculate the gradient of g. So the gradient, therefore gradient of g is equal to 6. Okay, so listen once more. Actually this is a pure calculus question. What is the question? You have to find the gradient of this g of x, or this m. Okay, so how can you find the gradient? How you did in calculus? First you have to find the derivative of the given parabola. This is the parabola and or equation of the quadratic. Okay, first you find the derivative f dash of x. I hope you already studied calculus, how to find the gradient. Okay, I mean how to find the derivative. Okay, if you don't know, you have to wait, first you study calculus. Okay, then only you can do this one. So f dash of x is equal to 4x plus 2. In this derivative you have to substitute the x value. X value of this point is 1. So substitute the x value in that derivative, then the answer is the gradient of that tangent. So the gradient of the tangent, gradient of g of x is 6. So guys, that's the end of February 2015 question paper, graphs and functions. So I hope you understand clearly. Thank you for watching. See you on the next lesson.